Hello, beautiful people. I want to come on just to have a chat, just to check in and just to share a bit about what's going on for me that I feel may be beneficial for you or support you in what's going on for you. One thing that's really coming up for me really strongly is the idea of the way we think we should feel. When things happen a certain way, or when life plays out, hi Amy, or when life plays out in the way that it does, or we have things coming up in the way that they do, and the identity or the belief or the perception of the way that we should be or the way that we should feel within that is really, really prevalent right now for many of us. For me personally, I'm having a few, hi Mary, a few things coming up that have triggered me, that have shocked me, that have, brought up emotions in me, if you want to put it into the category of good or bad, that have been not so pleasant, that have been challenging, that have been triggering. Hi Jenny, I also have some really amazing things coming up that I will talk on more as I go, possibly a little bit today and then further on down the track, about new offerings within my work and new things within my life coming up in the next year, and even observing myself in the way that I process that emotionally and how I express that emotionally, and how I can observe the way that I do it quite differently in the way that many people express their emotions. And this isn't about comparing it. It's more about having that discernment and feeling into the way that you feel it and how you understand it and how you navigate it as you, and how you accept and honor the way that you do it in your own way. I could feel yesterday there was a lot of emotion coming up I'll speak specifically around Australia, because there was Freedom Day coming up in New South Wales, and then there was the emotions coming up for those that aren't fully haven't got their full jabs, as it were, and some people that aren't getting it at all, and some people that are, and the emotions that were coming up around that and how that was going to look in their life, and the expression around that. Now, this isn't a pro or anti anything like that. It's literally just talking about the emotions that many people are experiencing and the expectations that they had once they were free and once they were out, and what their life was going to look like. And then when it doesn't look like that, because we have such expectations, we can belittle or berate ourselves. It's like looking forward to a party, right? And then we have the party, and we can have the party and we can cry. Hi Jody. And we can cry the whole party, even though we've been so excited waiting for this party to come, and the party comes and we're a mess and everyone else is having a lovely time, because we put pressure on ourselves to feel or to be something, and then we misunderstand or don't fully comprehend what emotional, energetic beings we are. And when we express the emotions and we express the energy that has been sitting there bubbling, we judge it or try to suppress it or put it back in its box or put it back in the pot, in the melting pot, as it were, and try and navigate it as a supposedly composed human that's got their shit together. And it's like, what's the goal here to have our shit together? What is wrong with feeling or expressing or being? Yeah, it's I can feel it's really prevalent. What's the goal, and what's the why do we view it when we're crying, when we're angry, when we're a mess? Why have we, and why do we view that as something that's wrong, right? We are naturally emotive beings. We have every emotion under the sun, yet we celebrate, and I've spoken this so many times, we celebrate all the high vibing or the happy. But what that does is anything else that is not that is deemed or viewed or experienced or expressed or judged as wrong, or something that we don't want to feel, or we shouldn't be feeling that. And so we just push it down. You know, I've watched my clients over the years. I've watched myself over the years. I've watched my friends over the years say these words: I should be feeling, or I shouldn't be feeling this. Everything's going really well in my life and I'm feeling miserable. I shouldn't be feeling miserable because everything's going really, really well. If you're feeling miserable, you're feeling miserable. You know, if things are going to shit and you're feeling joy, even if things are going to shit, you can even judge yourself for that. And you go, I shouldn't be feeling joy. I should be feeling sad because this is all going that way. You feel what you feel in the way that you feel it, because you are feeling what you're feeling, because you are what you are in the way that you are at that moment in time. And the emotions that come up are the emotions that come up in the way that they're going to come up because they're meant to come up at that time in that way. What makes it complicated and what makes it exhausting is our idea of the way it should be, rather than accepting and embracing and allowing the way that it is. And we overcomplicate it into something of right or wrong when it just is what it is. I'm observing myself right now in this experience of in certain emotive things in my personal life where my human wants to detach from this emotion, wants to escape it, and I'm coaxing her back to sit with it, to feel it, to acknowledge how she's feeling, and to allow myself regularly to sit in breath work and regularly to sit in the heart space and just let the emotions come up and to see them and to feel them and to reassure myself as they're coming up that it's okay. It's neither wrong nor right. They're just there. So let them come up and let them go through. And I really invite you to do the same. And you might go, well, I don't even know how to do that. Literally allowing yourself a minimum of, a few moments a day, or giving yourself the permission to exit a certain situation if you feel you want to cry, or allowing yourself to cry in front of other people. Let it come up, let it come up, let it come up. This composing of ourselves, of keeping ourselves into this neat, tight little bound ball of I'm good, I'm smiling, I'm fine, and everyone can feel that we're not, and everyone can feel what we're feeling, although we just sit here trying to cope, is a detriment and a disservice to us. Yeah. And the more of us that can feel and see and honor everyone else's human emotions, and honor and celebrate and accept our own human expression and emotions, the more of us that will be free, and the more of us that we feel that we can breathe, and it will become our norm. We've made authentic emotions taboo. We've made authentic variations upon emotions. Anything that isn't happy or hot vibe is in the category of to be shamed and to be shunned. And unless we start breaking the taboos that we have created as a collective, it will remain that way. And the more of us that will just feel constricted and limited and frightened, to be honest, to be ourselves. We're scared to show up as ourselves because we haven't had the example, and we don't have the example from anyone else, because even those that are in the leadership roles seem so, they've got their shit together. They seem so, everything's just da-da-da, and they don't. They don't have their shit together. And I don't say that to be derogative to them, but no one does. None of us, exactly. None of us do. It's this thing of just going, blah, this is how I am, blah, this is how I am, without being a burden to anyone else. Yeah, part of the emotional expression is we can feel like once I let my emotions out, I'm going to be a burden on someone. And most of us are caring beings, and we don't want to be a burden to anyone. So that's one of the reasons why doing the work with ourselves and letting the emotions come up and really setting aside a conscious time to do that, as well as meeting people where they're at, and having those initiations or those invitations to express, to see, to feel, to accept, celebrate and honor the process of the human. Then there is this, so many of us are breathing in this higher part of our chest, holding our breath. So as soon as tears come up or anger comes up, we get either into this heightened state where we get completely ungrounded and we feel completely overwhelmed and we can't find the forest for the trees, or as the tears come, we gulp them down and gulp them down and gulp them down. And we're so frightened that we're going to drown from the tears that want to come up that we just keep swallowing them down, misunderstanding that the sweet relief is on the other side of allowing ourselves to feel, honor, accept, and process, integrate, and let that be what it is, and let ourselves be who and what we are. I've also had this really interesting experience of I have something really amazing coming up for me professionally next year that I'm going to be offering soon. And looking at myself through my human lens going, I have seen and witnessed a lot of, this isn't comparisonitis, it's just an observation. I've witnessed and seen a lot of other people, I'll come back to that, Michelle, that, will express this excitement and this big, it's so exciting. And genuinely, I'm sure that is the way that they are. And I shared on my birthday that I have a day of grieving, have a day of sadness. And I've always felt so much shame around that, because it's supposed to be this, I'm born, I'm so happy, and I've seen other people, and more power to them. But I didn't realize how much I had shunned and shamed myself for feeling the emotions that I felt in that particular day. And I'm witnessing it again in myself in looking at this offering for the next year. And I'm excited about it in the way that I'm excited about it. But when I know that I'm meant to do something, there's something about me sharing this with you. When I know I'm meant to do something and it's actually aligned with my soul, with my spirit, I don't experience excitement. I experience calm. I experience a sense of all knowing, all seeing, all being. I feel the most at ease in my system that I ever am, and I ever will be, because I know it's aligned with my soul's path. But my experience in witnessing other humans in their process and in their expression of their offerings and their light in the world has been this excitement that is bombastic and bubbly and vivacious and all this amazing stuff. And I honor them and I celebrate them, and I'm so happy for them, and that they process and express it in that way. But I noticed myself in going to put this new offering in the world, this judgment came upon me that I wasn't going to experience or do this thing of, I'm so excited about this, I'm so excited about this, where I am, but I'm excited about it in my own way. And my sense of excitement within it is not excitement as you would look it up in the dictionary. My sense of excitement is this sense of ease and grace and calm within my own being, because I know that it is my soul's journey, my soul's work, my sovereign being. And this might seem a different tangent of what I've been expressing just before, but it is this thing of honoring the way that you express emotions about whatever it is, and identifying when you look at other people and go, well, they're feeling and experiencing it this way and they're showing it this way, and I'm feeling and experiencing it this way, and we can look at it and go, there's something wrong with me because I'm not experiencing it or expressing it in the way that they are. And I want to invite you to look at it and go, what is wrong with, is there anything wrong with the way that you're feeling or expressing it? Just because it's not like them doesn't mean you and the way that you do it is wrong or imperfect or not important or not valid or not the right way. It's the way that it needs to be for you. It's the way that you are doing it, because you have your own frequency, you have your own resonance, you have your own way, you have your own understanding, your own energy that is yours unto yourself. And when you start to feel that and accept that and love that wholeheartedly, there is a sense of that relief again, that sense of, oh, I can breathe, I can be me, I can feel, I can show up as I am, how I am, no matter what is going on. And even if it's not like anyone else, it's perfect. I'm perfect just as I am, as they are. And I can feel there's this reflection coming back upon many of us, and this mirror coming back and reflecting, and then looking deeper into yourself and checking in with yourself and celebrating and honoring yourself in the way that you are and the way that you show up in the world. So if you're going through this at the moment, and seeing and feeling whatever it is you're feeling, and noticing that you're judging yourself because you shouldn't be feeling that way or you shouldn't be thinking that way, and then finding a softness and a heart and letting yourself just be with what you are until you aren't it anymore. And if those emotions come up again and again and again, keep going through the process, keep going through the process. We so often look for the finish line. We so often look for the thing to be over. And I mean, this is a beautiful experience in our human reality right now, is we're just waiting for it to end so we can get back to normal. We're not going back to normal. Right? And if we keep waiting for this to end, whatever this is, we're going to be holding our breath that entire time. So looking for the ways that you can every moment of every day, allow the emotions to come up and be processed, and stop holding yourself, waiting for that thing to come up so that then you can be free, for that thing to end so then you can breathe. And then it's kind of, oh, I'm over. I understand the feeling, I understand the desire for it, but I can also see the disservice and the complicatedness and the pressure that it's putting on each of us as a collective and as individuals. So looking at where you're waiting for yourself to feel and be again, where you're waiting for this to come to its point so that you can go back to, now that's over, now I'm going to be okay. Looking at how you can be okay now, even if you're feeling like shit. Looking at how you can feel good now, even if you're feeling really angry. Right? You can be okay and angry at the same time. You can be okay and sad at the same time. You can be okay and really, really happy at the same time. Yeah. All of the shades in between. So feeling what it is you're feeling, being what it is that you're feeling, starting to let yourself express the way that you're feeling, even if, especially if it is different to the way other people express it or experience it, and starting to speak the language of your soul and starting to express the way that you are and show yourself and let yourself be seen and witnessed and felt by others, so that they start to feel and understand it and be activated for it by themselves as well and by you as well. It feels important to say that. So yeah, I'm excited to see, and I really, really feel it with my heart, with my entire being. I'm excited to see more people just be who they are, just express what it is they're feeling, and just, unless you're attacking someone and being abusive, that's a completely different story. But if you're genuinely processing your stuff, genuinely doing the work, genuinely showing up and just being who you are, because that's who you are in that moment in time. Yeah, we're not stagnant beings, we're ever evolving, ever changing. The more of us that will just do a collective sigh, a collective sense of, I can be at peace with who I am and what I am in this moment in time until I'm something else. And then I'll do the same again until I'm something else. And then I'll do the same again. And it keeps going and going and going. But stop waiting for the finish line to come so that you can start your life. Stop waiting for this to end so that you can start to feel good again. Start to feel and allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling now so that you can just be at peace even amongst the rubble. Be at peace even amongst the chaos. Oh, that's good, Megan. Yeah, so that's what's been percolating through my mind at the moment. Witnessing personal stuff going on and the emotions and the rawness of that, and then noticing the perception of something really exciting coming up, and my expression of excitement is very different to other people's expression of excitement, and how much I judge myself for it, and then let love come in and go, hey, that's okay. That's your version of excitement. Let it be. Let it be. Let myself be. It's okay. All right. So just sending you so much love. I hope that you feel what you feel in the way that you need to feel it, and accept and celebrate yourself in all of your majesty, just as you are. Really, really important. I'll come back and answer your question, Michelle. I'll come back and have a good read of that and come back and answer. Yeah. All right. Sending you all so much love. Enjoy the rest of your day and honor yourself. Mwah. Bye.